So, welcome to week 6 and round 8. So, similar to what we've done before, in fact very similar, we pull the yarn through, so this is where we haven't fastened the yarn off, and you do a chain of 5, so that's 3, 4, 5. That counts as 1 treble, 2 chain, and then we're going to do another treble into that corner. Okay, then we do 2 chains, and we're going to work a treble into this cream stitch, pushing the yellow one so that it stays behind, and another 2 chain and another treble worked into the stitch, again pushing the yellow back. Then we do a chain of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and miss the 5 mustard stitches in my case, and work 4 UK trebles. For me it's cream on cream, obviously could be different for you, but I'm sure you know which you're going for. And as before, we're going to work all the way round doing the chain of 6 and then the trebles worked in to the 4 trebles on the row 2 rows below. So I'm sure you'll be fine with that. We're going to work all the way across till we get to the other corner, and then I will do a quick demo for anyone who's not so sure about what to do or how it should look, and we'll pick that up for you in a moment at the next corner. Okay. Okay, so here we are at the corner. I've done my chain of 6, missed the final 5, then it's 1 treble into there, making sure that you push the other colour to the back, 2 chains, another treble, and then 2 chains, and then in the corner you've got 1 treble, 2 chains, 1 treble, then 2 chains, 1 treble, the 2 chains, 1 treble, and then we're back to the chain of 6, followed by 4 trebles worked into this first set of stitches. So I will just hold that up for you in a second. We get to that point. So this is what you've got. So you've got your final chain of 6, a treble into the row below, or 2 rows below, 2 chains, another treble there, 2 chains, and then it's a treble, 2 chains, and a treble for your corner. And then we've got 2 chains and a treble, and 2 chains and a treble, and then you're back into your 6 chains, miss 5 stitches, and work 4 trebles all the way around. So you need to repeat this for another 2 corners, and then obviously this all the way around. So we'll see you at the end of this round, just to do the final bit of the corner. Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. So here we are at the final point of the final corner, and we're just going to slip stitch that together. Again, as we've said before, you don't cast this off. I'm going to feed the ball of yarn through the hole and leave that for the next one. Okay, see you again shortly. Okay, back with round 9. So for me it's this lovely apricot yarn, and we're joining into the corner that is diagonally opposite where I finally finished with the cream. So I'm doing one chain just to anchor it, and that's not going to count as a stitch, it's purely there as the anchor. And then we're going to do one double crochet, which always feels a bit weird for that first one, 2 chain and another double crochet into that corner. And then working on the same theory that we've been doing for these rounds, you do a chain of 2 and we're working a treble into the coloured stitch of 2 rows down. For these, then 2 chain again, so everywhere there's 1 stitch we're working 2 chain and a treble into, for me it's the mustard stitch, then 2 chain, and then we start to work our trebles into the blocks, and this time it's the blocks of 5. So we do our 5 stitches, so the UK treble into the block of 5, and then this time you're doing a chain of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, missing the 4 cream stitches and working into the next block 2 rows down. So I'll leave you to work to the next corner, and then just in case anybody needs it, I will work the corner for you or with you, and then we'll carry on doing the rest of the round. So see you again shortly. Okay, so we're at the corner. I've worked my final 5 of that side. So it's a chain of 2 and then a treble into that mustard stitch, and then another chain of 2 and a treble into, oops, didn't quite work, did it? Treble into this mustard stitch, and then 2 chains, and then a double crochet, 2 chains and a double crochet. So you can see how that's building on each time we're creating an extra one in the corner. Then to mirror that, 2 chains, and this is taking us round the corner, so I'm fighting with myself here. 1 treble, 2 chains, 1 treble, 2 chains, and then we're back into working the trebles into the sets of 5. So that's what you're aiming for these corners. Okay, we'll see you again shortly for the finishing of the round. So here we are, right at the very end, and this is how your final corner should look. Pull that through, oops, start that again, pull it through and through again, and then we'll cut that off, pull it through, and I'll sew those ends in. So there we go, that's the end of round 9, and we'll see you again in a moment for round 10. Okay, so here we are with round 10. So we're back at the corner where the cream was left attached, and pull that through, and we're going to do a chain of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which counts as a treble and 2 chains, and then we do another treble into that corner. and then we're doing a 2 chain. We're going to miss that stitch, work into the cream one on the row below, remembering to bring the cream forward and push the peachy colour back. Then another 2 chain and 1 into the cream, 2 rows below, and then again for a 3rd time. So as you can see, the corners are obviously increasing, so the numbers of individual ones in the corners are getting bigger every row. We then do a chain of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to do the 4 creamy coloured trebles. What have I done there? That went all a bit wrong, didn't it? Sometimes when you've got these chains, they kind of curl in on themselves when you're doing that first stitch. So there we go, that's much better. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if in doubt, obviously just pull a little bit back and start from a point that you're happy with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, miss your 5 stitches on that row, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go, that's the beginning of this round. So continue as before. You may not, but you won't need to see any more of that. We'll have a quick look at the next corner just for anyone who needs a bit of extra reassurance. So we'll be back in a minute with the other corner. We'll see you then. Okay, so here we are at the first corner. So I've finished with a chain of 6 there, and we've got 1 treble into the cream of the row below, 2 chains, another individual treble, making sure that you've pushed the orange to the back, you're not wrapping it or catching it, and then another 2 chains, and then another individual treble, and another 2 chains, and then we're in the corner space, so we've got a treble, 2 chains, and another treble. So that's given us our corner point. Then working down the other side, we've got 2 chains, 1 treble, and then another 2 chains, and another individual treble, and then another 2 chains, and another treble. And then we're back to the point where we start to work the 6 chains again. And at that point, try not to let it twirl up on me like it did last time. There we go. Back onto our 4 trebles. So there you go. That's your corner and how you want it to look for round 10. So we'll join you again very shortly just to finish off the round. Okay. So here we are at the end of row 10, or round 10, and we've got a treble, 2 chains, a treble, 2 chains, a treble, and 2 chains, and then we just slip stitch to do the join. Okay, we'll see you in a moment at the beginning of round 11. Okay, so I am sure you've got the hang of this by now. We are going with the next colour, which for me is this lovely raspberry colour, or magenta as we've called it. It's a 1 chain, which doesn't count as a stitch, and then we do a double crochet. Feels all very loose. Right, double crochet, 2 chain and another double crochet, and then working on the same sort of theory that we've been doing now for a while with these coloured rows. We do 2 chain, and then we do a treble into the coloured stitch 2 rows down, then another 2 chain and another treble 2 rows down, and because we've increased we're doing another 2 chain and another treble 2 rows down, and then another 2 chain, and we start doing then the 5 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 chains, 3, 4, 5, because we're then missing 4 stitches, and then working 5 trebles into that row below, so an extra row down. So there we go, and then we continue with another 5 chains. So this time you've got 3 individual trebles there with 2 chains between everything. So we'll come back in a minute and show you the corner, just for those of you that'd like to see that worked, and we'll see you again in a moment. Okay, so here we are at the corner. So we do a chain of 2, we do a treble into the coloured stitch 2 rows below, another chain of 2, another treble into the coloured stitch of the row below, chain of 2, and another treble like so, and then a chain of 2, and then it's a double crochet, so that's a UK double, 2 chains and another UK double, and then we're repeating the chain of 2 with a treble, chain of 2 and a treble, chain of 2 and a treble, followed by a chain of 2, and then we're back right round where you'll be doing 5 trebles, 1 into each of the coloured stitches 2 rows down. So I will hold that up for you in just a second. There we go. So there we are. So we've got the chains of 2 with the trebles going towards the corner. So yeah, it's just really an extension each time, working more trebles and more chains of 2. So we'll see in a moment at the end of the round. So here we are at the end with the final corner, and slip stitched there, and then we can cut off the yarn and finish off. Okay, we'll see you again shortly with the next round. Okay, so here we are back at the corner where the cream is still attached, and I think you'll agree that that pink adds a super pop to the set of colours that we've got going there. The sort of more subdued colours really do help these brighter colours sing. So we'll pull that through into the corner, we do a chain of 5 and then a treble all into the corner, and that's counting as a treble, 2 chain and then a treble, then 2 chain, treble into the same coloured stitch 2 rows down, another 2 chains and another treble and another 2 chains, another individual treble, and another 2 chains, and then another individual treble. And then we reach the point where we're back to the set of 5, so it's a chain of 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4 trebles in cream. So I'm sure you know the pattern by now, but hopefully if any of you just needed to double check, that is how you've started this row. So we'll see you again at the corner, just so that you can, to reassure anybody who's not sure what to do next. And we'll see you in a moment at the next corner. So it's getting quite heavy now, is the blanket. Here we are at the corner. So I've done my chain of 6, and I'm going to work my treble into the same coloured stitch 2 rows below, then 2 chain, and then the same thing again, the treble. My hand's just got a bit tight there, and then another 2 chain, and another treble, always making sure that you push the dark coloured yarn further back. 2 chain, 1 treble, then 2 chain, and then the corner we're doing a treble, so a UK treble, 2 chains, and another treble, and then we've got 2 chains, and again a treble into the same coloured stitch 2 rows down, another 2 chains, another treble, making sure we come up in front of the darker coloured yarn, another 2 chains, another treble, another 2 chains, and that final individual treble. So there is your corner, worked with all its extras, and then we'll start again with the 6 chain and 4 treble into here. Okay, we'll see you again when we get to the end of the round. Okay, so here we are at the end of round 12. We're doing our little slip stitch to join those together. We do need to hold on to the yarn again, so I'm not going to fasten off again at this point. I'm going to grab the ball of wool and thread it through in a moment. So that's how your final corner should look, and we'll join you again shortly with round 13. Okay, so here we are with round 13, and I have the colour violet for this corner. So we start in the corner diagonally opposite the last corner. We've pulled that through and done a 1 chain just to secure, which again doesn't count as a stitch. So then we are doing a double crochet, 2 chain, and another double crochet. Fairly standard for what we've been doing before. 2 chains, and then we start with our treble into the coloured stitch 2 rows below, 2 chain, and again a treble into the coloured stitch 2 rows below, 2 more chains, another treble, same pattern as before, 2 chains, another treble, 2 chains, and then we're into the 5 coloured stitches. And again, make sure that you push the cream away at the back So you're going to be doing 5 trebles into the coloured row that's 2 rows back, and 5 chains to get you past the 4 base treble colours. So here we go, nice and easy. I'm sure you'll all know what to do from there, so we'll join you in the next corner just to confirm it for those that would like it, but we'll see you again in a moment. Okay, so here we are at the corner. So it's very repetitive before. 2 chains, treble into the pink one. Make sure you come up in front of, oops, let's just get my attention right there. Make sure you come up in front of your base yarn. So for me that's the cream, for you it might be a black. Another 2 chain, again into that stitch but come up in front of the cream. 2 chains in there, and a treble, 2 chains, and seems a little bit tight there. Then the treble, and then 2 chains, and we've got a double crochet, 2 chains, and a double crochet for the corner. 2 chains, oops, fighting with that one, and a treble. Don't know why that was so difficult. 2 chains, a treble, another 2 chains, and another treble, 2 chains, and a treble, and then another 2 chains, and you're into the 5 trebles. So I'll just pause there and lay that out for you so you've got a nice clear image of what you're creating. So same that we've been doing time and again, just with extras in there. Okay, I'll see you shortly at the end of the round. So here we are at the end of the round, and I've just done my slip stitch to join there, which just brings it all back into line. So I'm going to sew the ends in now, and then we'll come back with round 14 because we're nearly there, guys. Okay, see you again soon. Okay, so we've got our corner and we're going to start to work round 14. So we bring that through and do a 1 chain. Then we're going to do a double crochet, 2 chains, and another double crochet. We're now going to work, the double crochets are all going to be worked into the back loop only of their stitch that we're using, whereas the trebles will be worked in the normal way using both loops. So starting here, I'm going to do double crochet just into that back loop only. There you can see it does pull a bit, but don't worry about that. Then a treble going in under both of those loops, but don't forget we've got to end up with the purple at the back, not at the front. So we'll do that again. We've got a double crochet and then a treble using both loops, and again it's quite easy to actually pick up the wrong stitch there. Just do make sure that you're heading for the one that's directly above the long stitch, for me the long purple stitch. there. So back loop only for the double crochets and under both loops for the trebles. Now the designer recommended on this one, and I think this is a great idea, because this is going to be one of the final 2 rounds, when you do the back loop only of these next 5 purple stitches, gather up the cream chain behind. So as you work the double crochet, you're working that into the stitch. So into the back loop only of the purple one, catch the white one in there and wrap it up. And that way you'll get a much stronger join for this penultimate round. Nice new word there for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you haven't caught it on the purple, just the cream. And then we go back into doing 5 double crochets, wrapping up the cream stitch. So back loop only again, and oops, one seems to want to fight with me for some reason. There we go. And then 4 trebles, pushing the purple thread to the back. What have we done there? Let's start that one again. Don't like messy stitches. There we go. Right, so I'll just lay that out for you so you can see what I've done. So it's a back loop only stitch for the short ones for the double crochets, and then into the full 2 rows for the doubles. And if I turn it over, you can see there that the purple's still lying proud, but this one, these cream ones, are being caught in. Okay, we'll see you at the next corner, just to do a quick demo of that for you. So yeah, keep going, we'll catch you up in a minute. So here we are at the corner. So we're going to repeat what we did before. So with this one, you're working a treble into the individual treble of the row below, and then 1 into a double crochet into the back loop only of the purple one. I'm not trying to wrap the cream at this point because it's with just doing 1 stitch of each. I'm finding it way too tight on how to, if you tried to pick up the cream loop as well. So I've just left it for the corners. Of course, if you want to try doing that, that is absolutely fine. It's very much a personal thing, but I am not wrapping the cream stitch, just for the corners where it's 1 stitch that's a treble and 1 that's a double. I feel it's working quite tightly enough for this. Hope that makes sense. So just a double crochet into the back loop only, and then into the treble, but you're pulling it forward, which just automatically tightens everything at the back. So corner one's been a little bit tricky, so that's my treble. Then 1 into that back loop only, and then we've got a double crochet, 2 chain and a double crochet, and then we're working down the other side, so 1 into your back loop only, and then a treble into the cream one, and double crochet into the back loop only, a treble into the cream. We're nearly there with the corner. I do rather love the way the colours and flow into these corners, and how the way it just grows. I think that's really lovely way of doing this. And then you're back to doing your double crochet into the back loop only, wrapping the cream. So I'll show you both sides in just a moment. There we go. So that's how we're looking at the front. You can see how this has raised the stitch out. I think that's really lovely. And then this is how you're looking in the back. Okay, so you can see I've not attempted to wrap any stitches there. But if you want to have a go, do that. It just felt a little bit too chunky and difficult to me, did that. Okay, we'll join you again in a moment with the final corner. And here we are at the end of round 14. So we're now getting on to the final round next, and we are going to be turning the work for the next one. Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, so here we are with the final round. We're now working from the back, so you've turned the work around and we're working along the back of this, and this is to help the blanket lay flat. So we're now working a 2 chain, which counts as the first half treble, and then really simply we're working along this row, working a UK half treble all the way along, one into every stitch. Try and keep it not too tight but neat, because this is where if you sort of started to rush and got loose on your crocheting, you'd end up with a bit of a floppy edge, so not particularly neat. So you're going to work half trebles all the way down every side and 3 half trebles into the corners. So I'll come back in a minute and just show you a corner, just so that everybody's happy with it. But yeah, nice and simple. So we'll see you shortly. Okay, so here we are at the corner. I've worked right up to the final stitch there, and I'm now in the corner with 3 half trebles. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then we start straight back in with half trebles into every stitch along the side. So, and you're going under both loops again, don't forget. Okay, we'll see you at the end of the round. So here we are, right at the very end, and I'm working my final 3 half trebles into this final corner, and then do my slip stitch to join, and just do that bit for now. Okay, that is my final corner of my final round. I hope you've enjoyed doing this as much as I have. I've absolutely loved this last bit. So yeah, well done, and I hope you've got the same great feeling of achievement that I've got right now. Take care, we'll see you in the next one.
And that's it. This is the final instalment of the Rooms with a View blanket. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have loved and enjoyed designing it. I have adored seeing all your progress. I love what some of you have done with the various rooms with a view. You've made the blanket your own. Thank you all for sharing your progress. It's been a wonderful crochet along journey, and if you're not finished yet, don't worry, the pattern will stay available. It's all there for you to catch up in your own time. If you have finished, that's amazing, and I hope you enjoy this blanket for many, many years to come, whether you keep it or whether you gift it. It's been a pleasure to crochet along with you all. Thank you.